Du hast mich das Front neu. For my English friends, that's supposed to translate good morning, friends, in Dutch or some German dialect. I'm practicing because we got viewers from all over the world watching, and so for them guys, if that does not translate over, correct me in the comments and let me know so I can keep practicing. For you farmers, I normally have another channel for snowmobile content, but I can't log into that channel. I'm having security issues or whatever, security with Google, and no matter what, it just isn't working. I can't get on there, so we're going to be using this channel for snowmobile talk this winter. I apologize if that's not your thing, but don't care. I'm just kidding. I care, but you'll learn to live without it. The next ag video will be Glenn Beck telling us how much money farmers are making. So I went and picked up a 22 Skidoo 850 E-Tech Backcountry. I like the backcountry, kind of the crossover segment of snowmobiles, because around here there's a fun loop to just go up from our house up towards Hinckley and over towards Mora and back around back home, and that loop is 60 miles. Well, during the week, if it's groomed, then a short track sled is fantastic, because you get lots of groomed road approaches. Good time to get some speed and practice your air time. But if we get some wind and a few inches of snow, or it doesn't take a whole lot of snowstorm if you got some wind, and that you end up with a bunch of drifts and cornices and some powder to play in. And so there you'd want a little bit better sled. And if we ever get a big snowstorm, just putzing around the farm here, in the breaking trail in the ditches, playing on the hill over here. And so it's just kind of big. And then the other thing that I want to get back into is high mileage riding. I used to jump on my trail sleds, and I would, when you woke up when I was young and single, you'd get up, 5, 6 in the morning, have a big breakfast, and you'd get on your sled, and you didn't take a map, you just filled up with gas and oil and rode, and and you just rode, and you got home at 10 o'clock or midnight, didn't matter, and the next day you did it again, and it was an absolute blast. So you pull in a gas station, you just ask, where am I? And okay, so you get your bearings straight and keep going. And so with this sled, Skidoo has a link storage system on the back tunnel that's bare, and so I can carry an overnight bag of clothes. We can carry extra gas. It's unlimited. You just stack and stack luggage back there for however adventurous you want to be. I'll grab the camera and we'll do a walk around here in a little bit. But so I liked it. It fit me well. I brought it home. Buddy calls and says, well, I got enough snow that maybe we can put on a few miles. And we put on 34 miles. And I left the suspension settings as they were for the front. They're just a simple thread adjust front shock. The back is just a simple spring on your torsion spring, just 4 settings. So the front I left stock, back I left on I turned to number 3, and we went riding. And when I told him, I said, well, you just ride ahead and just wait for me every once in a while, because I'll probably take some time to get used to this thing and find my comfort zone. In the first 100 feet leaving his yard, you're like, holy crap, I feel like I'm riding an ATV. You're sitting up tall, and it's just, you're identical to an ATV sitting position. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But the skis are set at the 40-inch stance. So it's a little narrower than a traditional trail sled, so I was expecting just this tippy thing. So I rode it careful for the first half a mile, and then you're like, wait a minute, I've got this. Like, this is super comfortable. And so we're riding, and in the deeper snow where it drifted into the ditches and the snow plows through a bunch over, you had a bunch of tracks crisscrossing, and you just right through there. And the cool part is, the whole day riding, you forget that there's 4 feet of track behind you. It rode and felt exactly like a 121 that I'm used to. I never once thought like, ugh, I've got this big track behind me. Because when you came up to road approaches, I'm kind of still learning the machine, but you just crack on the throttle, and if you timed your acceleration right, you just carry the front end over the driveway, and on the back side of the driveway you carry your front end down and you hit and keep going. There's a few of them where I got my timing a little off, and so it really wanted to ride a big wheelie across the driveway and actually catch a little air. And so then you let off the throttle, and on the backside now you're nose diving down the backside of the driveway, and the first time it happened, I'm like, oh crap, here we go, because you know it's coming. And I braced myself for this crunch, and it just poof, and I hit the throttle, and away you go. There was no crunch. I even at my weight on here, like I said, I'm 320 pounds with all my snowmobile gear on. I did not crunch this front suspension on number one, and so I'm like, holy crap. And so then I get a little more confidence, and I mean, it was just driveway approaches all day long where we were down by the metro, and it was just too fun. It got a little better, and I started out drive myself. There was a half a dozen road approaches in a row, and you get to the first one, you kind of carry a little bit of wheelie, but you didn't slow down on the backside. You just let her set and keep going. And the cool part is on the driveways it was easy to pull a wheelie if you wanted, but on the flat ground, when you went to accelerate, I did not have to lean very far forward. It's an uncoupled rear skid, but I still not have to lean very far forward to hold the front end down. It stayed fairly flat when you accelerated in the deeper snow or on the hard snow when you're flat. So it was just a natural, comfortable sled. And so you come off the first driveway, and then you see a car start to just slowly walk by you on the traffic, and so you just kind of give it a little throttle and keep up with them, and you watch the guy in front of you. He goes up and over the driveway smooth, so you know it's a smooth driveway, and so then you accelerate a little more to start to pull ahead of that car, and you just and on the backside, and you smash the throttle on the backside right as you land, and it just launches, and now you're pulling quite a ways from the car, and you get to the third driveway, and you just keep getting faster and faster on every one, and finally I just kind of slowed down, like, okay, I'm a little out of my comfort zone here. Normally I'm not that kind of rider, but the sled let me be that kind of rider. Like, it was 34 miles of just smashing driveways and riding ditch slopes, and if that would have been my old sit-down sleds, I would have been beat at 34 miles. We got back to his yard, and I'm just like, let's go. Let's drive over to Hastings and let's just go bust some powder all day. It was just a super fun day, just a super easy sled to get comfortable on. I'll grab the camera and we'll just kind of walk around and look at a few things here. I know it's kind of dark. We'll get better camera action in the daylight. But I'm just taking advantage of a rain day in between moving cows and stuff. The cockpit is very, very nice. I like the sled because you're almost just dealing with an old Polaris Extra 10. You just got thread adjust up front, and on the back, the only thing you got to deal with is the clicker up here, and just like an old Polaris Extra 10. And so it's very easy to adjust suspension. You're not dealing with several settings, your rebound and compression settings and all that stuff. And so in the cockpit, the hand controls, hand warmers and thumb warmers, very comfortable on the trail. When you touch them, there's an indicator on the dash, and you touch them, and just a couple quick clips up or down, and you can feel the temperature. The handlebar itself is nice and comfortable. I like the little hook on the end. My hand pretty much takes up the whole hand grip. When I got a glove on it, it absolutely takes up the whole hand grip. So I actually find myself kind of drifting my hand over here a little bit, and then the brake controls are super easy to just flick. Real responsive braking, one finger. Comes standard with handguards and electric start, and the handguards work really well. The windshield's a little bit smaller than I would like. When we rode one direction, I thought, wow, this is actually really good. I didn't feel any wind up until my biceps on up, and then we rode another direction and the wind picked up. Now you're bucking this wind. Now you feel this wind hitting you in the chest and then going down your body to your lap. I thought the skis worked good. Throttle, it's a little bit stiffer throttle than some of the other sleds, but it's no big deal. So here's the storage system. So you can just simply unlock and then it lifts out. And then so this is expands. This is a Polaris bag that expands up to 5 gallons of storage. And I do have a shovel here because I do have some Arctic Cat friends. And so I thought I better have a shovel with them. The parts guy said that the guys like the Polaris bag better than the Skidoo bag, and it's a little more capacity, a little more expandable. So there is another station here that I can get a gas can storage or more just bag storage. And so, yeah, this is where the battery is for electric start. That's not storage here, and there is a little storage compartment up under the dash. And so I like the basic dash. I'm not paying $1,000 or some odd dollars extra for a fancy dash. All I need to know is my miles per hour. That I'm more than comfortable with a basic tack and just idiot lights for hot air temperature, hot belt temperature, low oil, whatever. And so Skidoo actually does have a belt temperature sensor on there, and the chain case right here, and it comes with these tow hooks, and I really like it because there's actually enough room for my big Herman Munster boot to fit into here. And while I was riding a couple times, I told myself lift up on my foot and take advantage of them, and the couple times that I did that, it actually kind of made it helped in that situation. I never once bottomed the rear skid out, even though I kind of screwed up my timing sometimes. It handled perfect. We do have ice scratchers, just in case that when I get onto the trail riding, I just unhook them and set them down. And I can't do that backwards. They fit in there real nice. I might look at an extra set of wheels for the rails just to help if you ever do get the marginal snow conditions. The 1.6 Cobra, we've always loved the 1 3/8 Cobra. Like when they first came out, they were just a phenomenal track, and now the 1.6 lug, it's soft and flexible, but it cups the powder snow. And so you know how ditch riding in fresh snow where a snowplow went, sometimes you'd hit the throttle and there'd be tons of traction and you'd just take off, and other times you'd hit the throttle and it'd just be kind of spinny and revvy. Stability wise, with the narrow ski stance, never once during the day did I ever think like, oh man, I really need to think about a wide front end kit. It just is like, this thing is the most fun I've had in a long time. And since it's a Skidoo, they're so good on gas that every couple miles you have to stop and take some out so it don't overflow. Like we put on 34 miles and it only used a couple percent, which of course that's a gas gauge. I mean, in all honesty, I probably used a couple gallons. I probably used, almost like a fifth of the tank. But yeah, my first impression of riding this thing is just simply phenomenal. I mean, to be able to take a sled off the showroom floor with my weight and just go trail riding. There was nothing. There's no nothing. Just got on the trail, went, and just had an absolute blast. And so, guys, I'll just end right there. One thing I want to say is we put a belly pan on. The dealer put a belly pan on for me. And you look at the fitment of that belly pan, and it is just tremendously high quality. I mean, that's the nice thing about the Skidoo is the fit and finish. And so the sled has a fantastic reputation. But I'll just end there. I apologize for the lack of light, but it's absolutely, we're not doing this outside. I couldn't even keep my camera standing up on the tripod. And so it is what it is. We'll get plenty more videos coming from the snow, and we'll go from there. But hey guys, thanks for watching right now, and yeah, look forward to more miles and smiles.